Welcome to our 4th and 5th / last day at Disney for my bachelorette party. I woke up personally like 7 in the morning and saw giraffes just walking around by our hotel room. So it was really cool seeing them from our balcony, literally while I was still doing my makeup and having my morning green tea. But it was super cute and a really amazing way to start our day. Basically, we got ready, and by 8 a.m. we popped some mimosas, had some champagne while we overlooked at the savannah view and the different animals that were walking by our hotel room, which was awesome.
Way! Hola por su Bachelorette.
After this fun early morning, we started walking over to the parking lot to head over to the Animal Kingdom Park. Of course, we saw an ostrich and other animals on our way out, which was super cool. And unfortunately, we were actually changing today for a new resort, but I was so excited to see the new hotel because we were going to the Disney Riviera Resort. So I will give you a tour of that later. But basically, we headed over to Animal Kingdom the Animal Kingdom Park, and we arrived at around 9:15. There are no trams running at the moment, which is fine because the parking lot wasn't too full, so it took us basically like a 6-minute walk to get to the front of the park. It was honestly a beautiful day, but kind of a scorcher. My arms ended up being so red even though I was wearing sunscreen, so it was a really hot day. And we walked around for a little bit and we went straight over to Starbucks to get started with some breakfast. Luckily enough, as soon as we finished breakfast, it was time for our return time for the Pandora ride, the Flight of Passage, which 2 of them, Ana Patricia and Danelle, hadn't done. So it was honestly a really cool experience for them, and I love seeing people's faces when they ride for the first time because going from soaring to this is insane. And if you haven't ridden it, you have to because it's such an amazing experience. So we basically did that ride, and then we headed over to Dinosaur to ride it. After Dinosaur, we went over to the safari, and it was honestly one of the best ones I've done so far. We had such a great tour guide that gave us so many fun facts of the animals, not just corny jokes, so it was amazing. I felt like I learned a lot, and we saw so many animals just out and about, so I'll just let you enjoy it.
This is a black rhino, not necessarily due to the coloration, but more brownish ones. We can tell that these greater kudus are female due to the fact that they don't have any horns.
Oh my god!
Meanwhile, the bongos, which we can see up along this hill here, both the males and females have horns. Their time in the water, they're actually really poor swimmers. In fact, they run or walk along the bottom instead, which is kind of useful because they can run really fast. Successful hunters, and one of the reasons for this is they are very family oriented. They will see those ossicones that we talked about earlier with the okapi. You'll only ever find a giraffe, 2 over here on the very left, and then 2 over here eating. These mountain zebras, including little baby Dash. Dash was born just a few weeks ago here at Harambe.
No, I don't believe
Oh
Now we
my
can tell that
God.
these are Hartman's mountain zebras due to the fact that they don't have any stripes on the bottom of that buzz sound that sends us into a fight or flight whenever we hear it does the same thing for them. In fact, it scares them so much that they've developed their own vocalization in order to cycling those old phones. By the way, we help minimize the mining of coltan. Here's a great look. The bigger ones are about a week or two old. Meanwhile, the littlest one on the left was born. These are flamingos. You can actually find those by the Tree of Life in the Animal Kingdom. Mouths, they're very wide. You see they get their name from the Afrikaans mistranslation for vite, which means wide. They don't have that triangular upper lip to 40 miles an hour. They use those giant wings of theirs in order to change their direction. They also really like shiny things, so we're going to keep on moving. Warden and other farmers like her to house more of them than the average goat, which means...
After one of the best safari rides I've ever done, we walked over back to Pandora, so we saw cute Chip and Dale and Goofy and a lot of other characters also on the boat saying hi to everybody, and we went to eat over in the Pandora restaurant, which was honestly super good. We were all, oh my gosh, we were all super full after it, but we enjoyed the food so much, and then we went on the river ride. Our last ride of the day, which literally happened at 4 p.m., was Everest. We were able to do all of the rides that we wanted to do at a really early time, and we were actually out of the park by 4:30, so I'll show you a little bit of Everest. We left the park at 4:30 and we arrived at around 5 p.m. to the Riviera Resort again. I feel like this is the one I was looking forward to the most because it's a new one I've never stayed in, and I didn't know how much I was going to love it. It is European themed and I love everything French, and it reminded me so much of the many times I visited. So I was in awe, and the room is insane. Honestly, I don't know if you saw it, but these was like sleeping there. But we arrived, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a tour of the lobby and everything because it is adorable. As you can see from the outside, you can already feel like that European feel, and there's music playing. It's always like the French, Italian style music, and it's also the movie songs in those languages. So again, you can see it in you can hear it in my voice that I'm super giddy about it because I fell in love with this hotel. Since this is a Disney Vacation Club only hotel, they have the welcome home sign and then the rug at the bottom that we've seen already when we went over to the Animal Kingdom Lodge, because the Kidani Village is also just for Disney Vacation Club members. And this is the lobby, which smells amazing as soon as you walk in. There's La Boutique right there, which is a gift shop, and they had so many cute things. I ended up getting a robe and a poster from there. And there's also Le Petit Café, which is where you can get breakfast, and they have cute little pastries that change depending on the time of the day. This is what they had for the afternoon, which looked super yummy, and then for the morning they had more breakfast style pastries. And next to it there's this lounge, I think it was called the Voyagers Lounge, something like that, and it was really cutely themed because all the different books were childhood stories and pictures and stuff that was in French and Italian, again going with the European theme. I tried to take out a book just to see if they were real. They're real, but they're just like stuck there and you can't take them off. And by the lobby, you can see outside there's this thing that looks like a mini golf, but it's not. I don't know what that was. And you can see the quiet pool, then the regular pool. There's like a huge chess set, and this is like a little bit more of I love snacks and sweets, so I just gave a little bit of a close-up of what they were offering at the moment. And this, look at how cute the hallway is. So this is the hallway towards our room. We were on the 8th floor, and they have really cute painting like this all around. And this is our room, and this is our tour. After that, we got ready and we went out over to Opa. I think it's called Opa's Tavern, which is an international drive. I had never been before. I'd never heard of it before, and it was insane. Like, as soon as we walked in, my face, like, I was so shocked at what was happening. Like, you can see it. I was like, do not get me on there. And it was the start of a crazy night. But after a night of dinner and dancing, we went back to the hotel room and we actually popped some champagne. We played some games. And we had perfect timing because we heard fireworks going off in the background. And we're like, this is impossible. There's no fireworks. But I guess they were testing out the new Epcot fireworks. So we literally all ran out to the balcony in our PJs. And we enjoyed the champagne with a view. We stayed up talking and playing games and drinking champagne till about 2:30 in the morning, and then the next day I woke up at 9 a.m. I know it says 10:20, but that's when I started packing my stuff up to make sure we were out of the room by 11 a.m. because we did not get a late checkout. We stopped by Le Petit Café, and as you can see, they changed the pastries for the breakfast. The banana one was calling my freaking name, but I decided not to because we were going over to have breakfast at the actual restaurant that they had downstairs. It was called Primo Piatto. If I said that okay, I don't know. We did a mobile order as we did always, and we had these lemon blueberry pancakes as well as this cinnamon French toast banana bread thing. Oh my god, it was amazing. So we also got this gelato that we never ate because we were too full after the breakfast, but I have to say that the breakfast here was super delicious and I totally recommend. Once we had breakfast, we decided to explore the hotel. The Magical Express was picking us up at 1:55, so we basically had about 2 hours to kill. So we walked around and saw the pool. We saw the slide over there. There was a quiet pool separate to this where adults and children that want to be a bit more quiet can go to. We saw the different games that they had outdoors, and then we also rode the Skyliner, I think it's called. Oh my god, I forgot it for a second. Which basically takes you over to the Caribbean Beach Resort, which was right next to us right there. It also takes you to Epcot. It takes you to Hollywood Studios. So we actually rode it over to Hollywood Studios, which was the only park that we weren't able to visit because it was completely blocked and completely booked for the time that we were there. But it was honestly such a cool experience, and I'll let you enjoy it. Before we left, we stopped by La Boutique, and I wanted to show this really cool feature that apparently it's only here in this resort. You can basically buy any artwork that you find in the hotel, and I think it's so cool. And I ended up buying this Tiana one because I was obsessed when I saw it in our room. But I thought it was really cool, and I hope they bring it out to the other resorts because I would love to buy so much artwork from different other resorts. And while our 1:55 p.m. Magical Express never came, we got a Mears taxi voucher and we headed to the airport. We arrived around 2:30 p.m. and it was time to head back home. We kind of had Chick-fil-A for lunch all together, and then we said our goodbyes and went back to our different places. And that marked the end of my bachelorette party in Orlando, which was such a fun trip and will go down in history forever in my memory. And I want to thank you guys so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.